What is up, guys? Bozon here, and it's been a minute since I've used my voice, and of course I decided to wait until I've been sick for a week to go ahead and use my voice. But you get what you get, and you don't throw a fit. So here we are. I'm talking to you. You're listening. You're watching. I'm not, because I already uploaded this, and it's been like days. I'm probably jacking off right now. Oh, nope, can't say that on YouTube. I'm probably, actually, I've been sick all week, so let's be honest. I don't do much. I just sit here and go, ugh. Anyway, none of that's important right now. We're here to talk about Juicy Realm, and I ain't talking about your mom. Nope. Don't even start going there again. We got to build an audience that is not predicated on mom jokes. All right, you can do this. Hi, everyone. Bozon operate. Nope. Don't steal other people's intros. Anyway, as I was saying, Juicy Realm, little game that me and my wife found just recently on the PS5. It's pretty new. It's pretty new, and if you follow, know, I just like to buy random games sometimes, especially when you can play them on the couch. This specifically is a 2-player couch game, no more. And it's like a roguelike, roguelite. They both are things, and I think that this game might be both of them. But either way, it's got that rogue thing to it, and then it's like a bullet hell, top-down shooter dealy. And you get to pick characters, and they have special powers and all kinds of shit, and it's really fun. And the levels themselves, if you've been watching, it's a randomly generated set of maps, and then boss, and then new setting, then boss, then new setting, and then the end. And you beat the game, and you get a timer, and then you try to beat your own time, and then as well as unlock different weapons and all kinds of little things here and there. I'm throwing a lot at you real quick with no real structure to it because that's just how I roll. So your main elements are your art style. Look at it. It's fucking hilariously cute and awesome at the same time. Look at my guy down there. You know what that is? That's Bloodborne. That's a hunter from Bloodborne. He has pets. He has freaking awesome hat, and he can duplicate his pets. And in this game, you can buy and find pets along the way that have their own little special power-ups. So this guy is amazing, because if you let him get all the pets and then he can duplicate them, then you have like double the amount of pets on the screen doing the things. And then sometimes you can get like a power-up or a, whatever you want to call it, a perk that gives you double usage of your skill. Then he can have 3 sets of pets out, and then you're like just destroying everything. There's so much in this game. It's actually pretty freaking cool. It started out as just like me and my wife. We like to play games together a lot, but at the same time, I get into these moods where I can't play games, or I don't want to do anything because I don't want to call it depressed. I've just been trying to shift my life into a different direction that isn't as much sitting in front of screens and making game videos and whatnot. Anybody who's followed the channel over the last year has seen that I've like delved in some fishing and other outdoor activities that I love or used to love when I was younger. And before I die, I'd like to get back into some of those things. So that's what I've been trying to do, as well as shift my monetary situation, because I have multiple sclerosis, and it fucked up my whole entire life. And you could say, well, you could find something to do. And it's like, well, that's what I've been doing for the last like 5 years or however long I've been uploading videos. And I maybe haven't been like trying to make a business out of it like some people have, because they're fucking cool and they're good at that shit. But I've been on the side of being a depressed, disabled American trying to fucking figure out his life and be a gamer and have his own dreams and be a dad and find happiness in other areas. During all of those things, I get a little overwhelmed sometimes, and so playing video games feels a little like pointless. But when my wife begs me enough, usually she could pull me out of it, and one of the things I usually do is look for a new game. Even though we have a plethora of games to play together, I typically, if I want to get like out of a funk or something, or I need something new to get me out of it, so I will search for sale games, cheap games, indie games, whatever. And I saw this, and it looked like something I would play. And it was at a price point at which I felt was appropriate at the time, and even she agreed. She's like, "How much was it?" Okay, I think it was $14.99. I don't think there was a discount. I think it just literally was $15. And she was like, "If you'll play the game with me, it's worth it." And so we got it. And I have to tell you, I've definitely gotten my money out of it. We haven't stopped playing it since. I think looking at my screen, whatever, where it shows you how long you've played the game, it's like 30 hours since we bought it, which is huge, because if you haven't noticed from other things, like we get a lot of games, we play them a little bit, and then you don't see more videos or anything. And this is one where like we've actually been playing it consistently and trying to finish it. There are 2 more trophies left before we finish, like, platinum it, and that's the only thing we have left to do now. So we tore this game up. What you're seeing right now behind you is called Boss Bash. It's a boss rush, if you're familiar with the type, then at some point you unlock a mode where you just fight all bosses as fast as you can. And that's what you're seeing behind you right now. It's just the boss rush mode. But otherwise, like I said before, it is basically randomly generated segments of a level. You go through it. It has a mini boss. Sometimes there's like hidden areas, stores, pets, whatever. You get through it, and there's always one mini boss and then one main boss. When you beat the main boss, you go on to the next section. You get a little segment in between where you can like buy power-ups or level up your power-ups, and then you go on to the next section, and it's basically the same flow, which is like the woods, the desert, the snow, the weird place, and then the last place. And it's always that pattern, but the way that the levels are designed and thrown at you, and then the bosses you get are somewhat random. There's only so many, but they go back and forth between them. You never have the same run. You will never have like the same exact run through a level. Let's put it that way. So other than that, it's just really good combat. It's really good like little perks and the unlockable characters and whatnot you can get. They added just enough little bits of things to keep you going for being whatever this is. Like, this, I don't know who this is. This is a small game, small studio, whatever. It's like came out of nowhere. Just the art style alone was what got me interested. I was like, okay, if this looks like what it looks like, and then it did. And then the gameplay looked interesting, so I was like, okay, if the gameplay plays like it looks like, then that'll be good too. And it did. And then, like I said, the loop was actually just enough to be rewarding and fun and keep us going. So, and then along the way, you have a bunch of weapons. There's a bunch of like, if you like those shooting games where you get like weird weapons and crazy shit, this game is full of those. And it's always fun to get, like, that's one of the best parts about it, is it's always fun to get the next like weapon power up or whatever. Like when you defeat a boss or you defeat a room, they'll give you a chest, and when you get a new weapon out of it, it's always so exciting. And then as you unlock new weapons, those become available, and it gets harder and harder to get the cool ones. But there becomes so many cool ones that you're always happy, almost always happy. We have it down to an art and a science and a flow. Like, we don't do too much discussion when it comes to like the money falling or whatnot, and like who gets what and who's doing what and how we divvy out the health and all that stuff. You kind of find a flow, and then it just works. And like I said, it gives you the timers at the end of all your runs, so you can always be like, oh man, we beat that way slower than last time, or oh man, our we just got a high best time record for ourselves. So that's fun. And then, like I said, it has the boss rush. You unlock a bunch of other, not a bunch of other modes, but there are 10, what do you call it? Challenge modes or things that you can activate that make it harder. So you can have up to 10 additional challenges. Basically, all skulls on Halo. You know what I mean? So basically, it's a bunch of extra difficulty things that you can turn on and make it more difficult. And then the more you have on, the more difficult it is. And there are 10 total. You start by getting 3. You beat the game with 3. And then you unlock a new character. And also you unlock 3 more. Skulls, we'll call them, but they're not skulls. And then you activate those, and you have a total of 6. You beat the game with 6 stars, whatever, skulls, stars, things activated. You beat it with 6, and then you unlock the last character that you get, and then at the same time you unlock 4 more skull, stars, whatever, that you can activate. And then you have to beat the game with all 10 activated, and that's where we are right now. We can get all the way to the very end and have the gosh darn boss down to the last little bit of health, and then we die. Every time. I've recorded it probably 6 times since before I sat down here making this. And I'm telling you what, it's ridiculous. We can breeze through it until we get to the end. But it's that kind of fun. So our last challenge is to finish unlocking. Well, we got all the weapons unlocked, but you have to like kill 20 enemies with each weapon to get it unlocked inside the like compendium book thing. And when you do that, there's a trophy for all the weapons. And so we're doing that and then trying to get the 10-star finish. And we are so close on both of those. But anyway, so quick games. Each session, if you beat the game in one run, it's about a little over 30 minutes. Between 27 and 41 minutes. I know that's a big gap, but it depends on what you're doing and how much time you spend doing shit in between. But like if you do a quick run, we're usually around 30 to 31 minutes per run. And then the boss rush mode, it's usually under 5 minutes per run. You unlock the boss rush with I guess when you beat it with the 3 stars. And then once you do that, you can also do the boss rush mode with the stars. But you have to do the boss rush mode. If you put 6 stars on and you beat boss rush mode with 6 stars on, you only get the weapon that unlocks at 6 stars and not all the previous ones. So we had to go through and do the boss rush with no stars to get the first weapon unlocked. Then you gotta add 1 star at a time until you get all of the boss rush weapons. Because when you beat a boss rush with stars, or I guess you'll see it, it's on a meter. The boss rush, when you look at it, it gives you a meter and it shows you if you have stars activated, a little shadow of a weapon below it. And that weapon is a weapon that's unlocked if you beat it. And we had to do each of those individually, is what I'm trying to say. So otherwise, for a $15 game, I mean, we've gotten a ton of use out of this. I can only say it needs more bosses, more weapons, more players. If we could do 4 players or had an online component and more bosses, and more weapons, this game could go for a long time. I didn't look at who the studio actual makers of the game are, but it says Space Can, but I don't know what that means. You know what I'm saying? Like, people make studios all the time and you don't know anything about them. But anyway, point being, this game was a little gem, came out of nowhere, that is just great art style, great fun, plays well, plays smooth, has no bugs. There was no crazy shit that happened that I was like, what is this? It's broken. None of that. Just a classic, solid, modern roguelike, bullet hell, top-down, dungeon crawling, random generated shooter, looter, booty scooter. There you go. It's a motherfucking shooter, looter, booty scooter. So there you go. I miss talking. I haven't had, I mean, let's be honest, I have a lot to say, but it's not video game related, and I am very trepidatious. I have trepidations. I'm very cautious about getting on YouTube specifically and talking about anything other than video games because, well, free speech is only free speech when you don't have limits on what you can say. And on YouTube, you have limits on what you can say. And I have a lot of opinions about a lot of things that have nothing to do with video games, and I try to keep those to myself. So, with that all being said, if you're still here, as always, or for the first time ever because you're new, just know I love you. And be good. Be good people. You know? You don't have to like thump a Bible or go to church to know that Jesus loves you or whatever. Like, just keep that idea in your head. Pretend it. You know, Jordan Peterson said, so what? What if you just pretend that it is real and live that way? Your life will be better. So just be happy. Do stuff that's cool. And don't let the world around you change more than it needs to. And that's what's been happening lately, you know, the last few years. We've all felt it. We've all seen it. If you're an adult, especially, you're really fucking feeling it. And if you're a kid who hasn't grown up yet, whew, you have the power, but it's time's running out, man. So don't be stuck in front of these screens just playing video games. Get out there, touch some grass, as they say, throw a fucking line. Fishing, man. I'm telling you what, if nothing else, try fishing. I promise you. I promise you, it'll change your life. Get out there on the water. Throw a few wacky worms, you know? Throw a few whackers, whack a few sallies. Flip it, crank it, twitch it, get down, get jiggy with it. Jiggy, okay. Anyway, enough about fishing. I have a lot of passions in life. I also am trying to start my own fucking like reselling and business and eBay and like I'm trying to make some money without having to try to make some money because it's hard out here for a pimp. And I got a little thing I've been trying. Like, I also love coins. I'm a coin enthusiast, a newbie numismatics, and so I've been trying to put together a coin collecting kit that I can sell, but I'm not ready to announce it or like put it out there yet. But I've been working on some shit on the side here, trying to like figure out my life. At the same time, I've been raising my kids and being fucking, I guess, a good husband, a decent halfway husband. I'm trying, man. I try. My wife is so awesome. If you don't have a fucking awesome wife, what are you doing? Like, if you can't get anything else in your life, there are two things: a good wife and fishing. Isn't that weird? I grew up in anarchist punk rock, fuck the world, fuck the system, I'm poor, nobody cares, to being like, hey man, get yourself a wife and a fishing pole, have some kids, if you can afford it, or you're lucky enough, get yourself a nice little quiet spot and just be good and live life, you know? And you know what? Video games. There's nothing wrong with video games, just don't get stuck in front of a screen. Whether it's your tablet, your phone, whatever. Don't get stuck in front of screens, but here you are on a screen watching me if you're still here. And I think I already said this, but as always, thanks for watching. I love you guys. And I rambled at the end there. Sorry, that's what I do. That's why I haven't talked in so long. And then because I haven't been talking in so long, I got ramble voice. You know, if you're a guy who talks a lot, or a person, I should say, I'm sorry, I don't want to judge. If you're a person who talks a lot, and then you go for a period of time where you don't talk, and then you do talk, it's diarrhea of the mouth. And I was diagnosed with that at birth. Diarrhea of the mouth. I remember in school, in elementary, 5th grade, I had this fucking teacher, dude. He was like an old cowboy. I went to school in a public school in the city. I was one of few. Let's just put it that way. And this teacher was one of few as well. He was a very old, very leathery, wrinkly, looked like he came out of the fucking right off the farm, but he was right there. And he was an asshole, but he was good. I don't know. He might not have been. I don't know. But at the time, I was a jackass. 5th grade. Whew. I forget what the point of this was. Anyway. What was the point? Jeez. I'll have to go back and listen to myself and then edit this part out. Editor's note, leave that in anyway because it's funny. And I had a point, forgot it, lost it. Oh yeah, he used to say I had diarrhea of the mouth. There we go, I was just about to say. Anyway, I got diarrhea of the mouth. Oh yeah, that's what he used to say. He was the first one to say that to me. That's what it was. He told my mom that I have diarrhea of the mouth. And ever since then, I loved that term. And then I've heard it a million times since. So there you go. Thank you for lending me your ear holes. And check out some of my other videos if you want. I have way better ones. Dude, the VR ones. The VR ones are the good ones. I'm telling you, the VR videos. VR is where it's at. I still do play some VR, but not a lot because multiple sclerosis makes it a little bit difficult sometimes. And back in February, January, whatever it was, when I got sick and stopped making videos, I also stopped playing VR, and it's taken me a while to get back into everything. And that's what fucking sucks about having stuff like multiple sclerosis or a chronic illness, because the littlest stupid thing can just take you out of commission, and then you're fucked for a little while. And it's been a quarter of this fucking year, and I'm just now getting into like video regular editing and all that. Like, I spent a lot of time literally kind of bedbound, not doing much other than watching videos and learning shit and collecting more bullshit like coins and accoutrement for going fishing, stuff like that. Which, now that the weather in my area is starting to warm up and get better, I can go and do. I can't go out when it's like cold and shit. It's hard for me. So I have to wait for the fucking right weather, and it's finally getting there. So it's like, there's like one half of the year I get to think about what I would be doing if it was better weather. And then when we get to the better weather, I'm like, oh, I got all this stuff I want to do, and then I can't do it because of other shit. So I'm trying to get that balance to be fixed. And then I'm trying to do it without begging online for people to give me likes and subscribes and like money. You know, that it feels like begging. I don't want to like do that. I want to earn it by having a product that's worth to me value. So anyway, love you, bye.